If you are in this room, silence could save your life. One word could destroy it. 8 people. 1 locked room. 80 minutes. No questions. Break just one rule in this concrete tomb, and your future will be erased before you can even scream for help. This isn't an interview. It's a cold, psychological test to see if pressure can turn geniuses into monsters. Imagine a windowless room, cold, gray, concrete. 8 of the world's brightest minds gathered for one final evaluation on the threshold of a secretive corporation. Landing this job isn't about a career. It's about survival. But when they flip their papers over, the silence hits like a physical blow. No ink. The paper is completely blank. No instructions, no questions. Welcome to the most twisted evaluation in history, where you have 80 minutes to find the question and provide the one answer that truly matters. Rule 1. Do not talk to the invigilator or the guard. Rule 2. Do not spoil your paper. Rule 3. Do not leave the room. The timer begins its countdown, and the first to crumble is the Chinese woman. In a panic, she writes a single sentence, and the guard drags her out before the ink even dries. In less than 60 seconds, her future is dead because she spoiled her own paper. Meet White, a man who smells blood in the water. White realizes a loophole that the others are too scared to see. The rules say they cannot talk to the invigilator, but they never said they couldn't talk to each other. He begins to dominate, stripping away their names to erase their empathy. He assigns them labels like animals in a laboratory: black, brown, blonde, brunette, deaf, and dark. The remaining candidates realize the question must be hidden in logic. They experiment with blue and red lights, use saliva, and in a fit of total madness, White even urinates on his paper. Yet, all he finds is his own reflection in the wet parchment. The paper remains blank. The group agrees that fire might trigger the sprinklers to reveal hidden text. White sees an opportunity for sabotage and intentionally hands over Brunette's paper to be used as a torch. Brunette lights the fire, completely unaware that she is burning her own chance at the job. White then targets the man they call Deaf, convincing him that his situation is hopeless under intense manipulation. Deaf tears his paper and stuffs it into his mouth, trying to swallow his failure before being dragged out. Disgusted by White's cruelty, Black attacks him. Along with Brown, they tie White to a chair so he can no longer sabotage them. Tension peaks when Brown begins to suspect that Dark is a corporate spy. Brown's subjects Dark to a disturbing psychological interrogation until she confesses she is an employee, though she claims she still needs this job and knows nothing about the test. Dark is eventually released. Soon after, White suddenly collapses due to a virus he is carrying. They try to find medicine in White's pocket, but it has mysteriously vanished. It turns out that a spiteful Brown had stolen it and hidden it under his own desk. As they try to give White the pill, Brown obstructs them until the medicine falls into the floor drain. Dark cannot stand to see White dying and screams at the camera, pleading for medical help, which ultimately gets her disqualified for speaking to the invigilator. The calm blonde does not give up. She uses her hairpin to fish the medicine out of the drain. She administers it to White, and he recovers instantly. Once White is freed and back on his feet, he is more dangerous than ever. Everyone soon realizes Dark's sacrifice was in vain, because White's seizure was a staged act. White intentionally put himself on the brink of death, just to eliminate Dark, as part of a secret alliance he had built with Brown. Black realizes White is trying to seize the guard's pistol, but Black manages to grab it first, even with a gun pointed at him. White continues to challenge Black. Black pulls the trigger, but the gun is biometric. It requires the guard's fingerprint to fire. A struggle ensues. White wounds Black and successfully seizes the pistol, using the guard's hand to bypass the lock. White aims the weapon at two people in front of him. Without hesitation, White betrays his own ally, Brown, forcing him out of the door at gunpoint to eliminate another competitor. Now, only Blonde and Black remain to face White's escalating insanity. White orders them to leave. Blonde proposes that she go first, but not before revealing the plan to Black in a hushed voice. Before exiting, she screams an order to turn off the lights. In total darkness, several shots ring out. Bang! Bang! White then orders the lights back on. White's shots hit Black in the chest, sending him crashing to the floor. White notices that Blonde has kept 1 foot inside the room to avoid disqualification. But seeing the timer on the wall has stopped, he ignores her with a cold stare, believing time has run out. White declares to the camera that he is the true winner because of how far he was willing to go. However, White is shocked when the guard shows him a stopwatch. The time is not yet up. In despair, he tries to shoot himself in the head, but fortunately, the gun is empty. He is let out in a state of regret, realizing a single second of greed destroyed everything. Blonde enters the room and picks up Def's glasses. Using them along with a shard of glass, she examines her paper under the light. There, in micro print, she finds Question 1. Shortly after, Def walks back into the room. Blonde walks toward him and returns his glasses and her paper. Now that the time is truly up, she remembers the moment 80 minutes ago, when the invigilator asked, "Any questions?" She gives the only correct answer, no. It is revealed that Def is actually the CEO of the company, a man who dislikes fame and chooses to live quietly as a researcher. And Black, he is still alive. The bullet that hit him wasn't lethal. It was a rapid healing medicine. They were testing in a room designed to turn geniuses into monsters. Only one person chose to truly listen and observe. Blonde. The job is hers now.